fire. We don't need no water. We have put the internet on fire today. I mean my buckle suit too, in it. I say, hey, we have put the internet on fire today. You want to turn up the fire? Beg we turn up the fire, man. Yeah, man. So like I say, if you clean the fire now, burn it out. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We are turn it up today. You know what I mean? Full fire we are coming with. We could turn up a bit, you know. We know our family things, boy. You know, we are burn them up, but you know, a whole heap of things that go on family. And we say we set the things today on fire. And if YouTube play up, we just go to Facebook, yeah? Cause we are burn everything on the internet today, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. So it's like a mystical thing we are dealing with today. So, yo, so yeah, this another like man fire, you know what I mean? This is like the sun fire, you know what I mean? Natural and pure fire, you know what I mean? Everything we do today, the fire go follow, you know what I mean? I'm gonna say the fire go follow. Yeah, there. I'm turning on back the life. Yeah. Alright, so like I'm gonna say, whereas I turn up the thing loud today, you know what I mean? Alright, let me just share that video, yeah? Well, on there. Cause I change over every thing on it, you know. Oh, I never put those one up there, innit? Wait, I'm looking if I can get it up there. Alright, this is one. Yeah, we're up on fire today, family. We have put the internet on fire. A weekend. Eh. So we have put everything on fire. Anything we play today, it's on fire. You know what I mean? Positive fire. Yeah, man. Cause you see when you see the sun fire, you know it's a positive. Alright, so anything we play today, I just positive family. We have to set up some things and alright, so upright and upright. You know what I mean? See me have on my soldier suit. Ah, Babylon suit, in it. Yo, family, we can turn up the fire, yeah, man. Cause we don't play. We don't play for you know, like family for stay awake. You know what I mean, family? So we burn all of the fires them we can burn. You know what I mean? Nature fire. You see, 'cause I remember I just always talk about nature. So if anything, me I talk about is like the fire from the sun, natural. You see, natural mystic. So today we have put the internet 100% on fire. Hold on there. Cool on the fire. Lord gosh, hey family. I tell you, say, yo, it's when they work with the mystic. The mystic give you so much give is like you don't know where it's coming from. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. And the only thing we're dealing with unity. You understand, family? Alright, so I could start it like this, yeah? The fire just a go run today, you know what I mean? It now come off of the screen. Yeah? Fire!
Every day we wake up and pray for a better day, a better way. Every day.
One world, support the movement.
England, one world, support the movement.
England, yeah? One world, support the team.
England, Trinidad, one world, support the thing.
UK, Jamaica, one world, support the team. One world.
The UK, Ghana, one world, support the movement. Big stuff happening.
England and Montserrat, one world, support the movement.
England, Morocco, one world, support the movement, man.
Jamaica, one world, keep the movement. Jamaica, one world, keep the movement. Jamaica, one
Alright, one world we say Jamaica, support the thing, don't leave the thing, big up the thing.
Jamaica supports one world.
One world, Jamaica.
Jamaica, one world, support it.
Ireland, one world, support the movement.
Ireland, one world, support.
St. Lucia, Martinique, one world me say, you know, support the thing. St. Lucie, Martinique, supportez bagay la. Yon latte. D'accord? Yes, I please.
One world,
One love, one world, support them. Yeah.
World support the team.
One world for the movement.
I'm from Cape Verde. I just want to say one world, support the thing, one world.
Family circle. Hallelujah. And you know, remember we are all our brother keeper, our sister keeper. So, you know, knowledge is a wonderful thing, but knowing the earth, it's beautiful. Unity, inbox me.
Kurdistan, one word for the movement.
افغانستان یک دنیا کوشش کنیم تحریکات کمک کنیم بخیر باشیم السلام علیکم
Lithuania, one word, support the woman.
Zimbabwe, Lizo, support, one word.
Bridgeport, Connecticut, Jamaica represent. One world, support the movement, peace, love, unity. Yeah, Terry said that. Bless up.
Eritrea, one word, support the movement.
Ethiopia, one word, support the movement.
Movement, salam salam.
Yeah, salam.
Brazil and Jamaica, one word, support the team, yeah? Brasil e Jamaica, é nóis.
Support one word, Polska, Poland. Zmieniamy świat na lepsze.
Croatia, one world, support movement.
Yeah man, one world, support the thing, the unity we say, straight.
Albania, one word, support the thing. Shqipëria Madhe, një bashkim në botë, together.
Me Nigeria. Hello? From Benin City, the heartbeat of Nigeria. One word, supported. Aba talk me ise, wawese, damo. Wawese.
Merhaba, UK, Turkish. One world, support the team.
Algeria, English, supporting the movement.
UK, Egypt, support the movement. Assalamu alaikum from Egypt.
One world, support the movement.
Yes, family, so today a fire day, we are burn the internet, you know what I mean? When I say burn the internet, everything corruption and all of these things. And remember, when we, it look nice, it is. A bird fire. Yeah, but you see when they deal with nature, nature always show you a new way, different from mankind way, you know what I mean? Yeah, because remember nature we are deal with, wait, where the fire? Oh, it we could turn it up, because we have burn the internet today, family. But remember, we are dealing with unity. This is purify fire. You know what I mean? This is not fire where you use and cook and all of these things. This is like, you know, vitamin A. You know what I mean? They say it's D, but we are dealing with vitamin A. You know what I mean? A is the best. They teach us, innit? Alright, so we are working with vitamin A now. So a natural fire. So you have to be awakened. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, I'm just having a bath, you know, a shower. You see what I'm saying, family? When you have a shower within the fire, family, it's like you purify. So this is like purified things going to come out of my mouth. You know what I mean? Alright, well, I'm turning off the shower. Alright, yeah? So turn on the shower. But we still a burn fire. Alright, so the fire not going to stop now. Because this is purify fire. You know what I mean, family? No fire where BBC a burn. Those are like the gas where you turn on in your house, fire, you know what I mean? Yeah, and you know, said that still give you toxic to your body, innit? Alright, so we just burn the purify fire and go through now. So first, we're going to start it with this sister, yeah? Everyone on this going to be burning fire. Everything, every video is a awakening, you know what I mean? I'm just going to just chop it like that. Whether... Yo, chill. Yeah, I'm gay. Chill. You know, a family love, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. See? All the lion. Yo, chill. Big up your damn itself. You see that the big up a fire you use and put it out and you see what I say? Like yo, big up, you know what I mean? One world. So a purify fire. So a natural, you know what I mean? Things what the nature want us to be talking. So first I could drop the sister, you know what I mean? Because we are our sister keeper and our brother keeper. So family are the greatest love I give to each and everyone, you know.
They know about us what we don't know about ourselves. Know who you are, you become a weapon against yourself. That's so important to know. To really identify with who you don't know who you are. Entities that know exactly who you are and what you are capable of. And so they'll use your energy. You are walking, talking, breathing pure fucking magic. You are.
Yeah. So you see what the sister's saying, eh? Alright, so we are burn fire and go through. That a one fire burn. So, and say, hey, no mosquito can't come in this fire no. Cause mosquito get burned. Cockroach get sprayed. Yeah? Yeah. So we spray the cockroach and burn the mosquito. Hey, we have burned everything. You see, family. We have feel dear for each other, you know what I mean? So we have burned everything move. Everything move, we have burn it. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Alright, watch again. Wait there. All the internet we have burned. You know what I mean, family? YouTube we have burned. Everything we have get burned. You know what I mean? Not everything we are hold we in this prison, we're burning it. You know what I mean? Alright. Let me start it again. Alright, this brother, it ma burn fire too. It's when time I turn up the fire on this thing, yeah. It's like it freeze in it. Cause I burn the real fire. Yeah, man. Spiritual fire. You know what I mean? The hotter the buckle, the sweeter the victory, family. Yeah, this is a new one and I love it. A lightning in this fire. You don't believe me, family? I can give you some. Yeah, man. So I burn. Alright, so make me play the brother now, yeah? Alright. Everything I get burned. Government I get burned. You know what I mean? Family I get burned. Everything I get burned from. It's corrupted. We are burn it. Even if I say something bad, burn me too. You know what I mean, family? Everything I get burned. You see how my face look like it's red too. And I don't use no filter in it. Alright, yeah, I get my new hairstyle, you know? Yeah, everything I get burned, family. A positive way I deal with for this year. You know what I mean? Watch it now.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
Alright, family. So, like what I say, you see, them are try to keep us in this bondage. You understand, family? So the brother say, hear me. From one family is awakened, we are supposed to be awakened. You know what I mean? For me to come on this, talking like how I'm talking, playing the things them what social media don't play, I'm not no social media. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm like the burning sun coming to this earth, family. And I will never hold in captivity. I will never hold. Just like, wait, watch, yeah. Hold on, family. I'm gonna fix that something. Electric. Yeah, more juice, more electric. Alright, you see, family, you see when they use the mobile phone, might do something. Because nature I deal with. You know what I mean? You see when they use the mobile phone, all of that, electric, computer, everything that is electric. Electric bill through radiation. You see what I'm saying, family? So when you have your phone in your hand, yeah, it's radiation and it got a bright light to the electric. You understand, family? So remember, everything, even the light bulb, yeah, it have radiation in it. Turn up the light bulb as how much watt, yeah? See if it don't have radiation. Remember I tell your family, a fully fire force I'm coming with, you know what I mean? And this fire is a purified fire. You know what I mean, family? So don't play with this fire. You know what I mean? This is not no government fire. This is not no like Christian fire. This is like the burning sun fire. You know what I mean? Alright, so we have step on it again, yeah? Alright, that I just have a bath again, you know? Yeah, I just have a bath. This is a fire bath. Yeah? And I'm burning everything on the internet. Alright, let me see what my big brother will pass through the earth already. And did say to me, you know what I mean? Alright, step it up, big brother.
I don't have that courage. Money. I mean, how much is a lot of money to you?
Yeah, that's a good question. Have you met of dollars?
No.
Are you a
What do you mean rich? What do you mean?
Do you have a lot of possession in the banks?
I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
Yo, family, remember it's like the internet I try to break down the fire now. You see what I say? 'Cause right now I'm in this place, yeah? And I'm feeling hot. And I know say it's just the radiation, you know what I mean? Yeah, alright, no. Maybe I the natural, you know what I mean? 'Cause me burn fire. Family, remember you are a prisoner in this life. You use money, you pay for the internet, you're using the radiation, you're eating the plastic food, you're eating the preservative food, you're drinking the chlorine water, you're drinking all of these things. Remember, those are corruption to the body, family. You must drink the river water. You know what I mean, family? Are we supposed to be sharing the river water? You understand, family? The things and what we learn in school is back where they teach us, you know what I mean? Not saying it's not good, but it's not good for nature. You know what I mean, family? It's good for the system. You see what I'm saying, family? Alright. So my big brother done tell you about money already. Yeah, alright. Let me hold a shower again, you know what I mean? Shower, you know what I mean? Turn it up. Alright, so the next video what we are gonna play, everyone know this big brother, you know what I mean? He's a legend within the world, you know what I mean? Alright, let me turn it up again. Cause I'm now playing a family. And next, I'm going to put in some video today. You see what I say, family? And the video them, believe you me, I forgot turn up the whole of this. What then call it? What you call it? Internet, you know what I mean? Me just start by a warm up. Yeah? Alright. Next, me going to be natural, purify after I done burn these video. Alright.
The churches took half the money that we'd be all right. They have the buildings that they we be seeing some of these guys lately. These ones that take up the whole block in New York. It's hard. Why ain't God letting them stay there? Why these niggas got gold ceilings and shit? Why God need gold ceilings to talk to me? Why do God need colored windows to talk to me? Why God can't come where I'm at, where he sent me? If God wanted to talk to me in a pretty spot like that, why the hell he sent me here then? You know what I mean? That make ghetto kids not believe in God. Why? So that's a wrong religion. I believe in God. I believe God put us wherever we want to be at. Then it makes sense that God will put us in the ghetto. That means he wants us to work hard to get up out of here. That means he's testing us even more. That makes sense. It makes sense that if you're good in your heart, then you closer to God. But if you evil, then you close to the devil. That makes sense. I see that every day. All that other spooky shit don't make sense. And I don't even believe, I'm not dissing them, but I don't believe in the brothers. I was in jail with them and having conversations. Brothers, I'm God. If you God, open the gate for me. Yeah. You know how far the sun is and how far the moon is? How the hell do I pop this fucking gate and get me free up out of here? Then I'll be a 5% for life. But never see it.
Yeah, family, remember, we not do no BBC, I know Facebook, I know what they call it, YouTube knowledge, you know what I mean? We are do some spiritual knowledge. When I say spiritual, you know, like the sun burn, because it's not man make me into this world. It's not school give me the knowledge what I have, you know what I mean, family? It's the street, you know what I mean? And it's the nature of life give me my life, you know what I mean? I'm not, you see, I'm in my militant suit, you know what I mean? I'm not playing today, family. How are you talking about, man? And I'm not swearing and I'm not behaving bad, you know what I mean? Alright, give love to Mooney, you know what I mean, family? Spiritual and physical thing, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, what you talk about, man? Give thanks to the life within the earth, you know what I mean? Yeah, this is a dream what I did get, you know? When you die from the physical, you go to the spiritual, but you have your spiritual vessel in it. Don't be a fool in life, family. We're gonna die one day, innit? But we're here, we can't make man abuse us. You see the video then what I'm going to play, you're gonna see what I mean. Alright, make I give you love goes out to Mooney. Yeah. I'm sure I give you a clue what I mean, family. Make I give you a little clue. You know what I mean? I'm not playing around. You see how my face red, family. That they love what I have for you, and they try to keep us in bondage. You know what I mean? They are in prison, and they are trying to keep us in prison. You understand, family? Step it up.
Is brought to you in living color.
Kennedy died at 1 p.m.
Upon a time, there were two little girls.
And now we're pleased to bring you our feature presentation. Every day, our senses are being constantly bombarded by subliminal messages that are found in TV, movies, and advertisements. The subliminal messages we are subjected to are unrecognizable by the conscious mind and only recognizable in our subconscious mind. The messages and imagery are passively absorbed and then stored in our where propagandists deliberately implant artificial thoughts, which in turn can affect our actions and attitudes later in life. Experiments have shown that less than 1 minute after the viewer begins to watch television, the brain switches from beta-level consciousness, associated with active and logical thought, to alpha level, which is associated with passive acceptance and suggestibility. This is why advertisers spend billions of dollars a year on commercials, as well as product placement within TV shows. Political messages are implanted in fictional TV programs as the relaxed, meditative state of the viewer is receptive to the programming. One example is AMC's Breaking Bad television series, as it depicts a meth villain as a Ron Paul supporter.
I looked him up. It was one of these physicists, one of Hitler's guys, a physicist named Werner Heisenberg. Real cute, huh?
In a basic college level marketing class, in your first year of radio, television, and film, at least for me, and then I've seen some other textbooks and curriculum and found it's also in those, but most RTF schooling teaches you that they have had subliminals for at least 70 years in the United States and Europe. And so, yes, there is subliminal messaging everywhere. It is all over the place. It's an absolute fact that they flicker it at a rate and that they have the televisions designed for that rate. to bring you into a dreamlike state. I mean, it is a fact that within minutes, you go into a dream brainwave when watching television. Go read a book by the father of modern advertising, Edward Bernays, where he calls you a dumb that admits they run your whole life. I've read both his major books. One of them's called Propaganda. Edward Bernays.
The conscious and intelligent manipulation of the organized habits and opinions of the masses is an important element in democratic society. Those who manipulate this unseen mechanism of society constitute an invisible government, which is the true ruling power of our country. We are governed. Our minds are molded, our tastes are formed, our ideas suggested, largely by men we've never. This is a logical result of the way in which our democratic society is organized.
Now, I also mentioned too that a fellow that has been in touch with me for an awful long time, his brother was in the CIA, or is in the CIA. He will never talk about the CIA to him. He'll never give anything away whatsoever, except one bit of advice. He said, never watch the television. Never watch the television. It's the greatest scientific indoctrination tool ever devised. Haven't you figured that out? It's changed the whole culture of nations, not just one nation. Why do you think it was mandatory that everybody in Britain give access to televisions by the government? Why do you think China is under the same program to get everyone to the TV right now? Because they love to have you entertained. Do you really think that? And India is on the same route as well right now too. Most of your ideas and your opinions and how you emulate, because you emulate things, you mimic what you see. As Charles Galton, Darwin and others have said in the past. It becomes you, you become it. And that's what's happened. It's been very, very, very successful. Never watch the television.
Alright, I'll chip in. Alright. Let me see if it coming back. Alright, so hopefully it coming back then. Yeah. The minute I run, and it's like, yeah. I'm giving you what the sound I just make, yeah? Alright. Burn, we are burn. Alright, I could start it again, yeah? And see what Babylon I deal with. Because remember when I play, when I burn, we are burning a family. We are talking about man, ever living fireman. We are talking about, you notice, it's in a circle, innit? And it's in a circle, you know, it's the sun fire. Because a purification we deal with, yeah? So right now we're purifying the mind. So we all can see ourselves as one brother, one sister living in the world. You understand, family? Because without that, because we are in heaven, you know what I mean? And in heaven, they call it hurt and separate our damning self from each other. Like black family, we see black family and say, yo, that is my friend and all of these things. White family, we see white family and say, yeah, man, that is my cousin and all. No, we are one family. Understand that, family. And if we don't see that, we are going to live as enemy. Where we come from to come into this earth, in the same form. The same heaven, innit? The same spiritual being. Make I show you again. Make I rewind this video. Remember now, a good for you tune in now, because they're going to block most of the video them what I'm playing now. You know what I mean, family? Wait, this is a shower. You know what I mean? A shower of blessing. Make I show you how blessings stay, family. Wow. This is a bath. Purified bath. So every part of my body is supposed to be purified when I'm talking. What you believe in, nature will give it to you. You know what I mean, family? The mankind, only thing mankind give to us is work and racism and all these things, you know what I mean? And show we how to shoot people, kill people, and all of these things. You understand, family? Yeah. And oh, me smarter than you, I run faster than you, I'm better than you. Oh, you have to come back. No, you're born perfect in this world, family. 100% perfect. If you never come in this world now, you know, say you're not perfect. But for you to be in this kingdom, Yeah, you are 100% perfect. Make I show you the video again. Wait, I don't play the Purify. Yeah, make I play it back, yeah, family. Yeah, remember they gonna block most of the videos them. Maybe they block me too. I just use Facebook in it and burn it on the Purify fire. This is the fire of the sun, family. You know what I mean? So today I'm just gonna hit every corner of this earth. You know what I mean? All right.
Program is brought to you in living color. Kennedy died at 1 p.m.
Upon a time, there were two little girls who went to
And now we're pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
Every day, our senses are being constantly bombarded by subliminal messages that are found in TV, movies, and ability. This is why advertisers spend billions of dollars a year on commercials as well as product placement within TV shows. Political messages are implanted in fictional TV programs as the relaxed, meditative state of the viewer is receptive to the programming. One example is AMC's Breaking Bad television series, as it depicts a meth villain as a Ron Paul supporter.
I looked him up. It was one of these physicists, one of Hitler's guys, a physicist named Werner Heisenberg. Real cute, huh?
In a basic college level marketing class, in your first year of radio, television, and film, at least for me, and then I've seen some other textbooks and curriculum and found it's also in those, but most RTF schooling teaches you that they have had subliminals for at least 70 years in the United States and Europe. And so, yes, there is subliminal messaging everywhere. It is all over the place. It's an absolute fact that they flicker it at a rate and that they have the televisions designed for that rate to bring you into a dreamlike state. I mean, it is a fact that within minutes, you go into a dream brainwave when watching television. Go read a book by the father of modern advertising, Edward Bernays, where he calls you a dumb but admits they run your whole life. I've read both his major books. One of them's called Propaganda. Edward Bernays.
The conscious and intelligent manipulation of the organized habits and opinions of the masses is an important element in democratic society. Those who manipulate this unseen mechanism of society constitute an invisible government, which is the true ruling power of our country. We are governed. Our minds are molded, our tastes are formed, our ideas suggested, largely by men we've never heard of. This is a logical result of the way in which our democratic society is organized.
Now, I also mentioned too that a fellow that has been in touch with me for an awful long time, his brother was in the CIA, or is in the CIA. He will never talk about the CIA to him. He'll never give anything away whatsoever, except one bit of advice. He said, never watch the television. Never watch the television. It's the greatest scientific indoctrination tool ever devised. Haven't you figured that out? It's changed the whole culture of nations, not just one nation. Why do you think it was mandatory that everybody in Britain give access to televisions by the government? Why do you think China is under the same program to get everyone with a TV right now? Because they love to have you entertained. Do you really think that? And India is on the same route as well right now too. Most of your ideas and your opinions and how you emulate, because you emulate things, you mimic what you see. As Charles Galton, Darwin and others have said in the past. It becomes you, you become it. And that's what's happened. It's been very, very, very successful. Never watch the television. You can't watch a movie unless you do it critically. If you watch it critically, not there to enjoy it. Remember what they say, it's your emotions that get you on. And it's interwoven, all these emotional themes all through movies. You're played like a harp. And they embed ideas into you, along with the movies, and predictive programming too, so you'll accept that which is still to come. And you'll behave the same way as the characters in the movie when it comes. Oh well, what can you do? I'll just watch much music or television. Yeah. You're given a mind of your own, and you got to use it for yourself.
Mind control is one of the tools that they use. How they get you into the condition to be controlled is by using certain signs and symbols, frequencies, tones, colors, shapes, numbers that they hide subconsciously in the frequency of the music and in the 23rd frame, I believe, on TVs and the movies. Look at the movie-going experience. We go in and we buy butter, popcorn, and Coke. And you're buying this chemical called popcorn. Why do I call it a chemical? That butter is not really butter. But when you put it on the popcorn and you put it in the microwave, it becomes a chemical that lulls your subconscious mind to sleep, inducing you and lulling you to sleep. So by the time you walk into a dark movie theater, you're already prepped. You're laying there, you're damn near dozing off. You're focusing in on a screen in the dark with the surround sound, and they're attacking your subconscious mind with frequencies and images. Go to The Arrivals on YouTube. The Arrivals. A-R-R-I-V-A-L-S. The Arrivals. Go to number 10 and watch it through number 12. And you'll see exactly how they pull this off. When you leave the movie theater, you're almost punch drunk. You leave the movie theaters with your breast filled, wanting to be the hero, or wanting to be the damn damsel in distress, wanting to be a corny white girl that fall down at every damn horror flick. Are you following me? So we have to understand it. So now to the small screen, they keep the small screen filled with nonsense. Channel Zero, I wrote a song with Public Enemy. Channel Zero is what we call it, which actually amounts to absolutely nothing. I don't care if it's the daytime stories or these unreality shows or MTV Cribs, Pimp My Ride, or whatever. Absolutely nonsense.
If you watch cable, don't do it because one of the implementations is the box that everybody has to get for your cable TV. And that is one of the ways that they have found out that certain sound waves can control you.
So there are sound waves. There are sound waves that come out of the cable box.
That comes out of your TV.
That come out of your TV.
They can tweak it. They can tweak it to where they can make you feel sad, they can make you feel glad. You know how people have those super harmonious CDs that pop in everything, they feel good?
Yeah. Oh.
It's the exact same thing.
Exact same thing.
And it's very simple, it's very cheap, it works.
And you pay a monthly premium for it.
It's a very simple equation here. They control by controlling the information that people receive. If we are going to, and we are in the process of dismantling this, then alternative information that tells the truth about the movie and exposes it needs to get out there. Now, everyone has got a mouth. Everyone. And everyone's got a voice box, or virtually everyone. And therefore we can articulate and pass this on. And so, you know, it's ridiculous to say there's nothing we can do. We can get onto radio phone-ins on radio shows that don't talk about this and bring those issues into the debate. I think they've realized that there is a challenge coming here, and people are, in increasingly vast numbers, are so open to this. I tell you what it is. This is why it's so important to communicate this stuff. Is the number of people who come across this information that didn't know it existed, and they go, "Do you know, I've thought that was going on. I've always thought that," but they haven't talked about it. And then they realise that their friends thought like that too, but they haven't talked about it either. We need to start communicating this, and then we'll realise just how many people out there are actually of like mind.
See, the Illuminati says you have to be born of fire. The lower chakras, the lower energy. Are you following me? I'm wrapping this up in a second. He had to be born of fire. And Kanye West, and back me up on this, Kanye West said it recently, didn't he? What did he say? He said he couldn't wait on God. So he sold his soul to the devil.
Artists be too scared to stand up for something. They scared to lose their fucking house. Or they scared to lose their record deal. I sold my soul to the devil.
In other words, he made an oath with the devil. Say music is your life and you controlled by the devil.
Now you see him wearing the Baphomet. Demonic energy. You've heard of Aleister Crowley's slogan, do what thou wilt, is the whole of the law. This is their slogan, all right? Don't pay attention to the laws that were laid out. Pay no attention to God, your elders, your ancestors, but do what thou wilt is the whole of the law.
Yes, family, like what I say, upright and upright. What you talk about, man? Yeah, man, like what I say, we are coming with a burning fire. You know what I mean, family? I'm not talking about no Babylon fire, or no one. No, just through me did I look for a video, you know what I mean? So looking for the video, it's like I never see that the scripture finish yet, not you. Alright, so we are burn fire and go through, you know what I mean, family? So love for come out, see him, we are, you know. Yeah, enjoy the earth. Yeah, full joy the earth in the way of knowing yourself. You know what I mean? When you know yourself, you know, you can inbox me, get me number, and we pull together. You know what I mean? Because if we have like a family of like a million, it's like we all can put £1. That is a million in it. £1 US. No matter where you are in the earth. You know what I mean, family? Because the earth we come through this time zone, and when we come through this time zone we see say it corrupted. We are a pure and positive soul in the earth, you know what I mean? And I'm going to take you on a journey now, because everything is a journey. And let me see now. No, it's like loading up again. You see, everything we are on a journey, you know what I mean? When we go, they teach us about holiday. Holiday is not a holiday, it's a journey you go on. You see what I say, family? Not saying, oh, you don't go there to have fun or etc. You know what I mean? But it's a journey. You understand, family? It's a journey we go on. So when we meet someone, it's a part of our journey. Not because you go to work and you meet someone, it's like you say, it's your work colleague. It's you, but in a different time zone. You, because there's a soul inside of you, tell the outcome who you are. You know what I mean, family? It's a massive family. So here I'm going to take you upon a journey, and the journey we might take you upon is like the fullness of life. You know what I mean, family? The fullness, man. And I go and look up our next video, and you see that video, family. Believe you me, yeah? Oh, one of the best video I watch since here, yeah. And I'm looking for it on the computer. When I find it, I just put it in this category so I can play it after, yeah. But go watch this one, yeah. It's a journey I'm taking you on, family. So next level, yeah.
If you awaken from and you understand that black implies white, self implies other, life implies death, or shall I say, death implies life, you can feel yourself not as a stranger in the world, not as something here on probation, not as something that has arrived here by fluke, but you can begin to feel your own existence as absolutely fundamental. I'm not trying to sell you on this idea in the sense of converting you to it. I want you to play with it. I want you to think of its possibilities. I'm not trying to prove it. I'm just putting it forward as a possibility of life about. So then, let's suppose that you were able every night to dream any dream you wanted to dream. And that you could, for example, have the power within one night to dream 75 years of time, or any length of time you wanted to have. And you would naturally, as you began on this adventure of dreams, you would fulfill all your wishes. You would have every kind of pleasure you could conceive. And after several nights of 75 years of total pleasure each, you would say, well, that was pretty great. But now let's have a surprise. Let's have a dream which isn't under control. Well, something is going to happen to me that I don't know what it's going to be. And you would dig that and come out of that and say, wow, that was a close shave, wasn't it? And then you would get more and more adventurous, and you further and further out gambles as to what you would dream. And finally, you would dream where you are now. You would dream the dream of living the life that you are actually living today. That would be within the infinite multiplicity.
Final Fantasy VII, heralded by millions today as one of the greatest video games.
Because the whole nature of the Godhead, according to this idea, is to play that he's not. So in this idea then, everybody is fundamentally the ultimate reality. Not God in a politically kingly sense, but God in the sense of being the self, the deep down basic whatever there is. And you're all that, only you're pretending you're not.
Hey family, I just find the video, and I tell you family, you've been on so much journey in your life, yeah, but you know that you are a gifted soul, yeah, and know that you are a gifted soul. Someone take away something, or someone is always ahead of you. You know what I mean? But we're all connected. No one can do or be what you come into the earth to be. Every move what I make, yeah, is like I see it in this video what I'm going to play, yeah. Everything, you see, just like how I'm saying I represent the sun. So you're gonna see how this video what I'm playing represent that same way. You know what I mean? Everything what I play from this one here, wait, make I show you. From this one, no, not that one. This one, you see, to this one, yeah. Everything is in the video. That's why I say family. Every day we wake up is a journey we go on. We don't wake up just like that. But everything what you maybe go through as like energy is like you gonna see it in this video. You understand family? Family, we are great. We are in a garden of like, I don't want to say heaven because heaven sound like religion in it. But we are in a heaven, you know what I mean, family? And we lead so far from reality. You see, so when I play this video, family, believe you me, it have some connection and some proper power within this video. Alright, make a play it. Make a play it. Hey family, this video, it just popped me in. You know what I mean? Like, yes, everything what I was doing, it was something for a reason. You see, now you're online because you know say something is wrong. That's why you know you tune in to Family Circle, WhatsApp and YouTube. But remember, inbox me family. Make I unleash it. Cause I don't know if they're gonna block me or block the video in it. But I'm gonna share it through the Family Circle and WhatsApp same way. So remember, my number is above there, you know what I mean? So remember to inbox me and get my number and pull together, you know what I mean, family? Alright, wait there. This is the video I've been waiting for. But it's like a game, but you know everything in life is like it come from life. It's a massive family. You see, life teaching. So watch it good, yeah? And they're gonna break it down the video.
Today as one of the greatest video games ever made. There is just no describing how potent this game is. No way to truly express the sheer impact it's had on the landscape of video games and culture, and how this game single-handedly transformed the art of storytelling and gaming forever. This video is intended to be an exploration of the hidden spirituality within Final Fantasy VII, but to make it accessible for people who might not have heard of it, allow me to provide an incredibly brief overview of the plot. Fair warning, this will basically spoil everything. The game begins as a humble story of an ex-soldier named Cloud Strife, whose disposition towards the world gets him a job as a mercenary running a bombing run of a large reactor within a giant city which is literally draining the planet's life force energy. The city is owned and operated by the Shinra Corporation, using the energy to fuel the city, make bank, and support the evil corporatocracy in generally ruling the world. Cloud doesn't really care about any of that stuff though, he just wants to get paid. Joining Cloud in his adventures at first are Barret, the gun-armed leader of the rebel faction called Avalanche trying to destroy Shinra, Cloud's old friend Tifa, who just kicks ass, and Aerith, a mysterious yet beautiful flower girl who is later revealed to be the last living descendant of an ancient race of super spiritual humans called the Cetra. Over the course of the game, fighting the corporatocracy, it is revealed that there is a deeper, more significant evil in the world. It began a long time ago when a meteor crashed into the planet, which had a parasitic life form on it called Jenova, which was responsible for wiping out the ancient Cetra. Later in time, Jenova was captured by the corporatocracy and they did bio-experiments with it and created a half-human, half-Jenova clone being named Sephiroth. Along the journey, we meet Red 13, a talking wolf with a Charmander tail who introduces us to his grandfather, a floating wise man who reveals to us that the entire planet, whose name is Gaia, is a giant living organism that shares its energy freely with the life forms on the planet. He explains that we're all intimately connected with each other, and that when we die, our soul energy returns to the planet and becomes one with the energy called the life stream, whereby after which we can return again in another body and live out more lifetimes as the great energy naturally flows through us to do so. Meanwhile, we also discover that Sephiroth over his life has come to awaken the Jenova DNA within him and recognizes himself as Jenova's child and fuels this evil Jesus complex within him. He sets out on a mission to use magic to summon another meteor to crash into the planet, which will release a massive amount of life stream energy, then to be absorbed by Jenova and fuse Jenova's consciousness with the planet. So the goal of the villain of FF7 is basically to become the villain from Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Jenova would become a planet and then can create anything that it wishes. Master of the evil reality matrix. Part of the journey to make this happen involves going into this ancient pyramid with a mind-bending reality labyrinth inside, and we'll talk more about this later. As mentioned, we also learn of the Cetra, the ancient super spiritual civilization that once thrived on the planet, and who had the ability to communicate with the planet itself, but have all but disappeared, leaving behind only a few remnants of its civilization and Aerith, a mystical girl with magical healing powers, who is instrumental in saving the day at the end through the power of prayer and a deep, intimate connection with nature and the Holy Spirit. No joke. There are legends of the ancient Cetra homeland called the Promised Land, a place where the life stream energy flows like milk and honey, and this fuels the plot because the Shinra Corporation are looking for it so that they can extract more energy because their other wells are drying up. At one point, in what is perhaps one of the most legendary turning points in a video game ever, Aerith leaves the party and goes to the Forgotten City, a particularly magical city of the ancient Cetra, where she is found in deep mystic prayer. Moments later, Sephiroth descends from above and kills her, creating a huge turning point for the game and the emotional well-being of the characters. Cloud too goes on a journey of self-discovery through this game, as he first discovers that he is not even himself, but that his memories were a clone of another soldier named Zack, who had black hair and a really big sword. But through the reconciliation of this inner paradox of who am I, it helps him to realize who he truly is, and ultimately leads him to courageously confront Sephiroth at the end of the game. The game ends with the colossal meteor that Sephiroth has summoned coming to smash the planet, but thanks to Aerith's sacred prayer just before she died, she was able to summon the Lifestream to awaken to the threat and stop the giant space rock from smashing into the planet. And of course, Cloud and his friends beat Sephiroth. After the credits, we see the world many, many years later and find that new life has taken over the old Shinra city and is now covered in moss and plant life. So, off the bat, let me just ask, did you notice any hidden spirituality in this game? Literally every aspect of this story we could probably go deeper into. The Shinra Corporation personifies the current economic and business systems of the world, draining the planet of her life force through the extraction of her natural resources with reckless abandon. We see references to an ancient civilization that thrived in connection with the planet. Today in our world, we see scientists and historians are now beginning to acknowledge sites like Göbekli Tepe, and that there must have been some ancient civilization of some kind on this planet over 13,000 years ago. We even see a deep psychological reference to exploring our true nature with the spirit of the planet when Cloud falls into the Lifestream. But yet, with a game like FF7, the real hidden spirituality goes way deeper through its unique reflection of Kabbalistic wisdom. Just as a side note, if this next bit doesn't make total sense, go and check out our Spirit Science Tree of Life series afterwards and then come back. It'll blow your mind 1,000 times more. The first clue we see to this is through the name of the main villain, Sephiroth. In the Kabbalistic Tree of Life, each sphere is called a Sephirot, the exact same spelling and everything. We see further connections to the Tree of Life with the characters Aerith, Barret, and Tifa, some of the initial characters we meet in the game. Aerith connects to Chesed, which stands for the archetypes of love, grace, and benevolence. Barret opposes her with Gevura, the force of power and purposeful destruction in order to refine the creative process. It makes sense because he's the one who organizes the bombing run on the reactors that are draining the Lifestream for profits. Then we have Tifa, whose name relates with Tiferet and stands for the harmony and goodness of the spirit of humanity. This is only scratching the surface though, because it seems nearly everyone has some sort of spiritual or religious reference. Even Hojo, the evil scientist who basically created evil Jesus, has a mutated form later called Helitic Hojo, a misromanization of Heretic Hojo, referring to heresy, a concept in many religions about going against the norm of their belief system. But on top of this, FF7 goes even deeper. You see, there is an idea that comes from ancient Gnosticism and Kabbalistic lore about the creation of the universe. Essentially, it's the idea that the Supreme Oneness created this first layer of creation, a dimension called an Aeon, which had supreme knowing and understanding from the wisdom of the Godhead. Creation then extended further, creating more dimensional Aeons, but which had less knowing and connection to the Supreme Source. Eventually, an Aeon was created that was entirely disconnected from even knowing that there was anything higher, which the Gnostic called the Demiurge. It thought that it was the supreme all-powerful benevolence, and this Demiurge was what created the universe and inhabited it with all of life. However, the powers that it used were still from the Supreme Oneness, and so the seeds of benevolence and goodness were hidden within the created life on the planet. Now, Final Fantasy VII demonstrates this story in several ways. The first is that it describes how some people can choose a life of goodness and striving, and others walk a path of evil and corruption. It also shows that sometimes pain and conflict are thrust upon us, and we must transmute and transform the energy within us if we are to become who we are born to be. This is why Cloud's last name is Strife. It is through his strife that he both finds himself and saves the world. But the true hidden spirituality here is this. Regarding the story of the Demiurge, we actually see it told through Jenova. The name here, Jenova, is not at all dissimilar from the Jewish Jehovah, their name for God fused with the Greek Nova, meaning new, essentially giving Jenova a name that means new God. Final Fantasy VII here uses this name as a commentary on the way that God was described in the Old Testament. It's said that God is a jealous God with a number of other very humanly qualities. The game here presents the idea of the false God, the demiurge, pretending to be the supreme oneness, which it cannot be. This goes further with the relationship to Sephiroth, giving us an idea of a sort of evil Jesus figure. He is, for all intents and purposes, the Son of God and the Word of God made manifest in a human body and performs, well, evil miracles. For example, where Jesus brought Lazarus back from the dead, Sephiroth killed Aerith so hard that no amount of Phoenix Downs could ever bring her back to life. I'm sorry, I need a sec. It's just so sad. By the way, Cloud, how is it you're standing here when this shot plays immediately after? I mean, where are your feet, bro? Anyways, here's a few other cool things. The game features the use of magic through crystals called materia, and materia is both Spanish and Latin for matter and material. There are 7 types of materia, which sort of correspond to the chakras, but it's more likely that they were designed based on the 5 elements, and then the forces of good and evil beyond the elements. The red materia used for summons is notably interesting. Summons are spells cast in battle that allow you to draw upon some deity to come and assist you in some way. But what's amazing is that almost every single summon is based on a mythological god in history. And then there's the one for the giant chickens. I won't go through all of them, but here's a few key ones. There is Shiva and Rama, relating to the Hindu gods of the same name. We have Ifrit from Islamic mythology, Odin from the Norse mythology. We have Hades from Greek mythology, and Knights of the Round, who is by and far the most powerful summon and is literally King Arthur and his 12 knights coming to your rescue and kicking some ass. In addition to the main 5 materia that are usable by the player, there are also 2 more types, white and black materia. The black materia is the force of chaos for destroying anything and everything you want. In the game, it's used to summon meteor to smash into the planet. The white materia is called holy, a force of divine sacred benevolence, which can be used to cleanse the planet of threats. I guess I should mention there's also huge materia, which is kind of like giant chunks of unrefined crystal matter. Now, earlier in this video, I mentioned that there was this ancient pyramid. You might remember in the Spirit Science Human History movie, we talked about how there's this story about the true capstone of the Great Pyramid in Egypt being sealed away somewhere deep underground beneath the pyramid itself in a secret chamber, and that the little capstone is a perfect image of the Great Pyramid made of solid gold with little passageways and everything. This idea was encoded into FF7 because when you make it to the end of the labyrinth inside of the pyramid, you enter into the secret chamber and literally find a tiny version of the whole pyramid that you're standing inside. What's more amazing is that as your character goes to take it, the Great Pyramid around you begins to shake and tremble. If you remove it, you get the MacGuffin, but the pyramid will collapse upon you. Oh noes. Anyway, one of the most valuable aspects of the game is that it not only loads us up on hidden spiritual symbolism, but it grabs us emotionally too, which is why the game has weaved such tight emotional memories with nearly everyone who's ever played it. We see all of the characters get very existential throughout the game, dealing with death in their own ways, dealing with isolation, pain, loss, sadness, and struggle against their seemingly inevitable demise. And remember, all of these characters exist within us as we play. And so as you progress throughout the game, you are put in the driver's seat of experiencing those emotional states yourself. You become the characters, and the struggle is real within you, and you grow and evolve with them. Many people who began playing FF7 might have connected with Cloud, not really caring about the world or that the planet is dying, whatever, But by the end, you see the bigger picture. You see the necessity for changing the world. And maybe, just maybe, you embody your own inner Team Avalanche, your own inner Cloud, Tifa, Barret, Aerith, or Red 13, and set out on a quest to save the world. But maybe just don't blow up anything. I'm certain we can find a better way to move humanity forward. Anyway, Final Fantasy VII will stand forever in the hearts and minds of millions around the world as a testament to gaming and storytelling. And for those who are able to see deeper into the fabric of the reality matrix, it stands as an encoded language of ancient mysticism that speaks to the human soul about the nature of life, love, and our connection to the world. The game asks us if we're willing to stand for what we believe in. Are we willing to go inside ourselves and do the inner work to discover who we really are? Are we willing to look deeper past the surface level of a story, any story, and find the hidden spirituality? Thank you again so much for watching. I'd like to give some mad props to the writers at FinalFantasyFandom.com, along with Peter from Kotaku, whose notes and articles provided some excellent support in making this episode. You'll find links in the comments to check out their writings, and of course, to everyone watching, enjoy the Final Fantasy VII Remake.
How does your head look to your eyes? Well, I tell you, it looks like what you see out in front of you, because all that you see out in front of you is how you feel inside your head. So it's the same with this. And so, for this reason, the great sixth patriarch, Huineng in China, said that it was a great mistake for those who were practicing Buddhist meditation to try to make their minds empty. And a lot of people tried to do that. They sat down and tried to have no thoughts whatever in their minds. And not only no thoughts, but no sense experiences. So they'd close their eyes, they'd plug up their ears, and generally go in for sensory deprivation. Well, sensory deprivation, if you know how to handle it, can be quite interesting. It'll have the same sort of results as taking LSD or something like that. And there are special labs made nowadays where you can be sensorily deprived to an amazing degree. But if you're a sort of a good yogi, this doesn't bother you at all. It sends some people crazy. But if you dig this world, you can have a marvelous time in a sensory deprivation scene. Also, especially if they get you into a condition of weightlessness. Skin divers going down below a certain number of feet, I don't know exactly how far it is, but get a sense of weightlessness. And at the same time, this deprives them of every sense of responsibility. They become alarmingly happy. And they have been known to simply take off their masks and offer them to a fish. And of course, they then drown. So if you skin dive, and you have to keep your eye on the time. You have to have a water watch or a friend who's got a string attached to you. If you go down that far, and at a certain specific time, you know you have got to get back. However happy you feel, and however much inclined to say, survival, what the hell's the point of that? And this is happening to the men who go out into space. They will increasingly find that they have to have automatic controls to bring them back. Quite aside that they can't change in any way from the spaceship. Now, isn't that interesting? Can you become weightless here? I said a little while ago that the person who really accepts transience begins to feel weightless. When Suzuki was asked, what is it like to have experienced Satori, enlightenment, he said it's just like ordinary everyday experience, but about 2 inches off the ground. Zhuangzi, the Taoist, said, it is easy enough to stand still. The difficulty is to walk without touching the ground. And why do you feel so heavy? It isn't just a matter of gravitation and weight. It is that you feel that you are carrying your body around. So there is a koan in Zen Buddhism. Who is it that carries this corpse around? And so when you feel, common speech expresses this all the time. Life is a drag. I feel I'm just dragging myself around. My body is a burden to me. To whom? To whom? That's the question. You see? And when there is nobody left for whom the body can be a burden, the body isn't a burden. But so long as you fight it, it is. So then, when there is nobody left to resist the thing that we call change, which is simply another word for life. And when we dispel the illusion that we think our thoughts, instead of being just a stream of thoughts, and that we feel our feelings instead of being just feelings, it's like saying, you know, to feel the feelings is a redundant expression. It's like saying, actually, I hear sounds, for there are no sounds which are not heard. Hearing is sound. Seeing is sight. You don't see sights. Sightseeing is a ridiculous word. You could just say either sighting or seeing, one or the other, but sightseeing is nonsense. So we keep doubling our words, and this doubling is comparable to oscillation in an electrical system where there's too much feedback, where you remember in the old-fashioned telephone, where the receiver was separate from the mouthpiece, the transmitter. If you wanted to annoy someone who was abusing you on the telephone, you could make them listen to themselves by putting the receiver to the mouthpiece. But it actually didn't have that effect. It set up oscillation. It started to howl. It could be very, very hard on the ears. The same way, if you turn a television camera at the monitor, that is to say, the television set in the studio, the whole thing will start to jiggle. The visual picture will be of oscillation, like that. And the same thing happens here. When you get to think that you think your thoughts, the you standing aside the thoughts has the same sort of consequence as seeing double. And then you think, can I observe the thinker thinking the thoughts? Or, I am worried, and I ought not to worry, but because I can't stop worrying, I'm worried because I worry. And you see where that could lead to. It leads to exactly the same situation that happens in the telephone, and that is what we call anxiety, trembling. But this discipline that we're talking about of Nagarjuna's abolishes anxiety, because you discover that no amount of anxiety makes any difference to anything that's going to happen. In other words, from the first standpoint, the worst is going to happen. You're all going to die. And don't just put it off in the back of your mind and say, I'll consider that later. It's the most important thing to consider now, because it enables you, it is the mercy of nature, because it's going to enable you to let go and not defend yourself all the time, waste all the energies in self-defense. So,
you know, it's feel like a victim, you know, because it seems like sometimes, you know, the world is like, it's just objecting its will upon you. But the truth is, you are also objecting your will upon the world. And it's a symbiotic thing always going on. And, you know, these situations that we go through, and I just want to make sure I share this, because I went through a pretty crappy situation a couple of times. But the things that are within our DNA for that greatness, you don't just come here good at something. Like you have to have situations, you have to have conditions, you have to go through stuff. It's like the oak tree, you know, you've got an entire forest in one acorn. An entire forest, right? How crazy is that? But this will never manifest itself if it's not in the right conditions,
Yeah.
right? And so these negative things that tend to happen, or challenges, obstacles, these are simply there, in my belief, to just help us to unlock these latent capacities. Because a lot of times those talents, when somebody's like, I don't know what my talent is, it's just dormant, it's latent.
Yes.
There's never been anything like you ever, and never will be anything like you ever after this. It's like a very important moment in humanity, you being here. Wake up and realize how powerful you are. Wake up and realize that you hold the pen in your hand and you are writing your story, but you keep trying to pass the pen off to somebody else, and you're really the star of this movie. And so many times, like, we try to play an extra, or we try to play a supporting actor, but it's us, and you need to wake up to your power and consciously, intentionally write your story, because it can be a really, really amazing story at the end of the day.
So then let's consider first of all, what is a mind in the grip of vicious circles? Well, one of the most obvious instances that we all know is the phenomenon of worry. The doctor tells you that you have to have an operation. And that has been set up so that automatically everybody worries about it. But since worrying takes away your appetite and your sleep, it's not good for you. But you can't stop worrying, and therefore you get additionally worried that you are worrying. And then, furthermore, because that is quite absurd and you are mad at yourself because you do it, you are worried because you worry because you worry. That is a vicious circle. So now, can you allow your mind to be quiet? Isn't it difficult? Because the mind seems to be like a monkey, jumping up and down and jabbering all the time. Once you've learned to think, you can't stop. And an enormous number of people devote their lives to keeping their minds busy and feel extremely uncomfortable with silence. When you're alone, nobody's saying anything, there's nothing to do. There's this worry, this lack of distraction. I'm left alone with myself, and I want to get away from myself. I'm always wanting to get away from myself. That's why I go to the movies, that's why I read mystery stories, that's why I go after girls, or anything that you do, or get drunk, or whatever. I don't want to be with myself. I feel queer. So, well, why do you want to run away from yourself? What's so bad about it? Why do you want to forget this? Why do you want to become yourself? Because you are addicted to thoughts. This is a drug, a real dangerous one. Compulsive thinking, going on and on and on and on and on all the time. It's a habit. So there's a difficulty about stopping that activity. And you really have to stop it if you want to be sane. Because if I talk all the time, I don't hear what anyone else has to say. Then I'll end up in the situation of having nothing to talk about but my own talking. Or so in exactly the same way, if I think all the time, I won't have anything to think about except thoughts. So in order to have something to think about, there are times when you simply must stop thinking. Well, how do you do that? The first rule is don't try to. Because if you do, you will be like someone trying to make rough water smooth with a flat iron.
You know, it's easy to feel like a victim.
And all that will do will stir it up.
Because it seems like sometimes, you know, the world is like, it's just objecting
So in the
its
same way as
will
a
upon
muddy,
you.
turbulent
But
pool
the truth
quiets
is, you are
itself
also
when left
objecting.
Right feed, and remember, it's like I'm not really doing this for YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or nothing like that. We dealing with a unity thing, you know what I mean? We have more family we have coming to the thing. To the link is like the more better for us. Not for get money, but for help each other, you know what I mean? And as I see, it's just like me two phone and an ex family is watching, innit? So I try to change the course and bring it to the Facebook same way and see what I go on, innit? Alright, so I love family, yeah? Yeah, man, for real, man. Woo, 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 woo. Satan is a sly old fox. If we could catch him and put him in the box, lock that box and throw away the key. For all those tricks he played on us, we make the money, they take the body. We buy the house, they take the lad. Woo! Alright, I'm out, yeah, family. Yeah, man, I'm going on Facebook still, you know. Alright, I'm out. Woo! Nah, man, let me say out. The fire never out. See, fire still ablaze from the start. Yeah, man. Alright, so. Yeah, man, I love family, and this love I give to you, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. Yeah, man, show our blessing, innit? Alright.